Hello and welcome to the latest episode of my vlog from Philadelphia in America, where you'll get to see men in kilts as you've never seen them before. Hello and good morning, welcome to another video from here in Philadelphia. You know what, a lot of people said if you come to Philadelphia you cannot do it properly without exploring the historical and cultural significance of this city and all the different things that entails. So I'm here starting this video in a place called Alfred's Alley, which apparently is the oldest street in all of America. And by that I mean the place where residence has taken place. People have lived for the longest continuous period of time throughout history, and that's pretty cool. Good place to start and take photos. And I've got a local friend with me who's going to help me out. Rocky from USA Kilts.
Howdy boys and girls.
Great to have you here.
You too.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Not a problem.
You are from, well, not Philadelphia itself, but local area, right?
Yeah, suburbs around Philly.
And today we're basically going to go around and explore some of the historical sites of the city. We're going to see, hopefully, Independence Hall if we can make it there. And some of the other cool things that you know about here, right?
Yep, absolutely. And then at the end,
Yeah.
we had to take them to a Flyers game.
I have got the hat with me. I'll put that on later. That's going to be fun. That'll be for another video. Today, we're basically going to go around and show some of the city because it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day as well.
It
is cold though, really,
Freezing
really cold.
cold,
Freezing
yeah.
cold. So we're going to get on and do a lot of walking. But great to see you, Rocky, and thank you for inviting us out here.
Thanks for coming.
We're really looking forward to seeing some of the city. Tekka's going to be behind the camera today. She's also wearing the American Dream tartan. And just to say as well, I'm not sure if you can see, but we're all wearing our kilts apart from Tekka. So it's men in kilts today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Men in kilts in
Men in kilts
Philadelphia.
running around Philly.
Let's do it. All right, first of all, we need to explore this alleyway because it is really gorgeous. I don't know massive amounts about the facts, but one thing that Rocky already discovered and pointed out is some of the houses have like an old brass plaque on them which says FA. And that apparently means that was, well, Benjamin Franklin, he was one of the first.
The guy that started the fire insurance company kind of thing.
Yeah?
Or fire, yeah.
And in that time they put plaques in the houses of those who had insurance.
Yep, and they would come put out your house if you caught on fire.
Awesome. Right, let's get exploring the city. Great to see you here. If you're new, subscribe. And also go and check out USA Kilts because those guys are awesome.
We are.
I noticed as well, Rocky, a lot of the houses here, they have flags, either Scottish flags, and some of them have the Union Jack as well.
Yep.
And I take it that's like going back to kind of some of the historical connections with it being a colony, right?
Yeah, it's basically they're trying to, in my estimation, they're either historical houses that are trying to represent what it would look like in colonial times, and or show the older flags, or B, it's people who are proud of their heritage and want to support the Scottish flag.
Yep. I also saw, like, sorry, this is really ignorant of me, right? But there's some US flags that have like a circle rather than the stars as they usually appear in linear form. What does that mean?
The Betsy Ross flag is the first flag. We're actually right near Betsy Ross House.
Yeah.
That was the original. The original flag was 13 stars in a circle, and then the 13 bars. So yeah, that's the original one. And then as more states got added, they added more stars to the field.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you can see a few of them in the alleyway here, and we'll try and make it to the Betsy Ross House as well because that's quite an important historical place.
Yeah.
What an awesome site though, love it. Alright, Rocky, we're at the Betsy Ross House here behind us. This is a place where the first ever, or supposedly first ever, American flag was sewn together.
Correct.
And Betsy Ross was she like a seamstress?
Probably.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a nice old historic house anyway. Right there, it's pretty. You can see they have actually got a US flag up there and then a sign that says this is a Betsy Ross house. And that, like you were saying, that's the one that has the circle, the 13 stars.
Yep.
The original version of it. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It looks like there's some kind of like visitor centre here as well, but the flag here talks all about it in the form of a US flag as well. Stars and stripes. What's other nicknames for the US flag?
Old Glory.
Old Glory.
Stars and stripes. Yeah, the American flag.
Love it. I've always loved it. The colours just really pop.
Yeah.
It's up there as well.
It's got a lot of symbolism. The one thing I talked to a guy from House of Edgar about is the flag code and how Scots and other countries don't have the same type of rules and regulations surrounding the flag that we do.
Yeah.
Americans get very, very uptight about certain things, like you ever seen the saltire kilt?
Yeah.
With the big X on it?
Oh, yeah.
I said to him, like, yo, that would never fly in America. We would not sit on the flag. People would
Yeah.
get up in arms about it.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's just different culture stuff.
I think it's awesome the city's got so many different little parts of history.
Parks and
attached to it.
nooks and yeah.
So we've Benjamin Franklin and stuff. Actually, his grave's just around the corner as well.
Yeah.
We'll pass it on the way.
He's probably him and Washington are my favorite founding fathers.
All right, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. I don't know a lot about the story of Benjamin Franklin, to be honest, but I know that he was a philanthropist, he was a poet, a writer.
An inventor, he invented he discovered electricity.
Yeah.
He's the reason we have light. He's a very, very interesting dude.
But he never got that involved in politics, right? Like as an elected official, or did he?
He was never elected.
Right.
He went to he was part of the Pennsylvania delegates.
Yeah.
He went to France for a while to petition for money for the war effort, and that kind of thing. He's a very, very, very seminal figure in American history, period, and in relations with France and relations in the world.
Yeah.
He's an amazing dude. Invented a lot of really cool stuff. He's brilliant mind, and he lived to a ripe old age too.
Yeah.
For back then, I think he lived to his 80s.
Wow.
Something like that. He was an old guy for living back in the 1700s.
You know what though? I think I've just discovered it is actually pretty cold. So I'm going to put the Flyers hat on. Come on, yes. So
We have to give him crap, guys, for going to a Flyers game.
Being good to know actually in the comments. Are any of you guys Flyers fans? Or if not, what do you think about the Flyers?
Way to start a war. That's excellent.
Yeah, exactly. I love the fact that as well you guys have got so many historical plaques around wherever you go, because you never know otherwise, just walking past here and it's got the story about the Quakers here.
Yeah.
Which were the first people that arrived in this part of the world.
Yeah, very, very heavy Quakers in Philadelphia. A lot of Welsh influence in this area as well. It's a really cool, if you like history, Philadelphia is absolutely one of the best places for the country. It's the birthplace of America.
It's awesome. We're going to find out more about that, hopefully at Independence Hall. I'm excited about that.
Daughters of the American Revolution raised the plaque. They're an organization where you had to have a direct lineage back to someone who fought in the American Revolution. And Daughters is the women's organization, and they have Sons of the American Revolution as well.
And where we're standing right now, I mean that's really fascinating. They've basically kept this site alive and preserved it for all the years. We're actually at Benjamin Franklin's grave right now behind us, and that is like you said, it's such an important figure in the founding of the states. And
brilliant man, brilliant philanthropist, inventor, everything.
You can see there's a lot of people around here taking photos. I think it's kind of like we do a lot of this in Scotland, like come to grave sites and take photos, and it's quite morbid, but also this is it's historically important.
It is.
That's a man who changed the world.
Yep, absolutely. He's also attributed with the quote that beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
I love that.
Yeah.
And they have it right there. That's Benjamin Franklin's grave. You can actually see it from the street, so you don't have to pay to come into the graveyard. But it's got a number of looks like copper pennies or something down there as well. And Benjamin Franklin also is on one of the dollar bills, right?
He's on the $100 bill.
$100 bill.
Correct.
I've not actually seen one of them for a while, but if I do see one, I'll definitely check it out and show it on camera.
AKA a Benjamin.
A Benjamin.
Yeah.
We've made it through security.
Through checkpoint.
We're through the checkpoints. We're now in the square, which is right behind Independence Hall, right there behind us. That's one thing about we're in a kilt that I've never anticipated before, is that when you go through security, there's going to be a couple of
hiccups,
but we got there in the end. And actually, Rocky showed me some awesome tips as well, so that's good. Apparently there's tours of Congress Hall over there.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see. Rocky made a really good point there. I was like, I don't know if that's the oldest building in the city. And it might be, I don't know, there might be older ones, but like you said, Rocky, it has to be before
At least 1776.
Yeah, because,
Deductive reasoning.
Yeah.
Security again. This is what is called a broadside. That's what that format of printing is called. That is one of somewhere between 200 and 300 broadsides of the Declaration of Independence that were printed on the night of the 4th of July of 1776. So within a few hours of Congress voting to adopt the Declaration, they are printing several hundred of them off. We know of 26 left in existence. That is one of them. For the Articles of Confederation, what you're looking at here, this is a working draft of the Articles. So each delegate to the Congress, or in the case of bigger delegations, at least a few to share amongst their delegates, would have had their own copies. This one belonged to Elbridge Gerry. He was one of Massachusetts delegates, so that is his handwriting on there. They're making changes and edits as they are debating and discussing what is and what is not going to go into the Articles. And then with the Constitution, this is a proofing draft. This is essentially your final check before it starts being printed for official distribution. Make sure there are no mistakes, make sure that everybody agrees on any last minute changes. George Washington, probably it was Washington, caught a typo on the second to bottom paragraph on the left-hand side there, and he corrected it. You can just see a little scratch mark. Cool. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say all three of these are older than what you see on display. Signed versions of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution came after these ones.
As we walked into Independence Hall, I felt a feeling that I felt in many places where things of historical importance have happened. It's like a certain type of residual energy and quite difficult to explain. But in any case, I was excited to learn more about this location, the birthplace of America.
So, my name is Barry. I'm a volunteer ranger here with the Park Service, and it's my honor and my privilege to be your tour guide for our tour of Independence Hall this afternoon. Independence Hall doesn't start out as Independence Hall. It's actually built to be the Capitol building of the colony of Pennsylvania. And so when it's first constructed, and for about 100 years thereafter, it'll be called the State House. Upstairs, we have the office of the executive of the colony of Pennsylvania. He was a member of the Penn family. Pennsylvania was a somewhat unusual colony. It was what was called a proprietorship, and so he was referred to as the proprietor. What that means is that this was not a crown colony. The Penn family owned the entire colony. So if you guys wanted to live here, you'd have to either buy or rent your property directly from the Penn family. So welcome to the assembly room for the Pennsylvania Assembly. This is the room where the Declaration of Independence was debated and signed. The relationship between Great Britain and her 13 North American colonies had actually been a really good one up until the end of the French and Indian War. That ends in 1763. And from that point on, the relationship starts to go downhill for a variety of reasons. And by 1774, it's a pretty rocky relationship. So those 13 North American British colonies say, you know what? We should have a meeting, get together, and talk about this deteriorating relationship with the British government. They hadn't really done this before, all 13 of them. So where to have the meeting? Well, how about Philadelphia? In 1774, Philadelphia is the largest and most cosmopolitan city in British North America. Actually, it's the second largest English-speaking city in the world. Let's see, it's relatively centrally located among those 13 colonies. It's relatively easy to get to. It's on a river. You can take a boat here. So how about if we write the king a letter and we ask for his help? And that's what they decide to do. Historians call it the Olive Branch Petition. It basically says, Dear King George, we are your loyal subjects. Parliament is abusing our rights as Englishmen. Please help us out. Does the king help us out? No, he does not. In fact, we find out in early 1776 that the king has given a speech to Parliament calling for the crushing of our rebellion. A group of these delegates get together and they say, you know what? If the king has stepped back from us, maybe it's time we pull back from the king. And on June 7th, a representative from Virginia, Richard Henry Lee, makes a motion. He says, resolve that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states. And the Continental Congress says, whoa, this is like a cool idea. But if we're going to do this, if we're actually going to leave the British Empire, well, first of all, we have to make sure our citizens understand exactly what we're doing. And secondly, we're probably not going to be able to succeed unless we have foreign help. So what we really need is some document, some letter to the world, some declaration that states the reasons why we've decided to leave the British Empire. So they form a committee of 5 men, and the task falls to a young red-headed delegate by the name of Thomas Jefferson, and he comes up with something that looks like this, the Declaration of Independence. And on June 28th, the committee proudly presents it to Congress, and Congress promptly puts it aside, because they're still talking about Richard Henry Lee's motion. But on July 2nd, they vote to approve Lee's motion. In 1783, a miracle happens. We actually win the War of Independence. It pretty much didn't look like we were gonna at any point during the war, but we end up winning. But remember, it's the war that has kept these 13 nations together. So now the war's gone. So now what's the picture look like? Well, it's not a pretty one. They start to squabble with each other about boundaries, about tariffs and taxes, fishing rights in the Chesapeake Bay. And the leaders of our country say, you know what, this form of government, it's inherently unstable. We have to come back to Philly. We have to figure this out. We have to get this right. So they do come back to Philadelphia. They sit roughly where they sat before. But now George Washington is going to join them in this big chair, this rising sun chair. This chair is the only piece of furniture we're absolutely sure was in the room for that constitutional convention. By September 17th, they have compromised enough that they can sign the Constitution of the United States right here in this room. So now that means not only does the American Revolution begin in this room, the United States of America begins right here in this room. That's why I told you it's the most important room in North America. Well, at the end of the meeting, Benjamin Franklin, he's going to walk out here, make a right, and go out to Chestnut Street. We're going to walk out here, make a left, and go out the back of the building. And I'm going to come out with you, and I'm happy to try to answer any questions that you might have. Well, anyway, Franklin meets a lady he knows out there, and she says, "Tell me, Dr. Franklin, what kind of government have you given us?" And he says, "A republic, if you can keep it." I know that you in that sentence, that's we the people of the United States. And so far for the last, 230 some years, we the people have kept this American experiment going strong. But you know what? It's still up to us. It's up to me, it's up to you guys over here, it's up to you guys over there, you guys over here.
Quite appropriate, Rocky, that I'm wearing the American Dream pattern as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah, that's what it's all about, right?
Yes, everything he said. It's exactly the reason I made it. The brilliance, the humility of Washington, the reason that he is one of my favorite founding fathers is the man had power. He had power for 8 years.
Yep.
And he said, nope, I don't want to become a king. I don't want this experiment to do the thing that it's set up not to do.
Yeah.
So he stepped down, he set the precedent for every president going forward, save one. And then it eventually became a law. But a president is only to serve 2 terms because we don't want a king. We don't want somebody, a monarch, ruling over us. But it had to be that way from the beginning. And he was popular in his presidency. They wanted him to serve a 3rd term, but he wouldn't do it. He was like, nope, I'm out.
So that wasn't in the Constitution originally?
Nope.
Was that like an amendment that came afterwards? Or is it just like a president?
It was after, I forget which president it was, served a 3rd term. It was like 1 term and then 2 terms or something like that. It was in the early 1900s. After that occurred, then they said, nope, we're not going to allow this. Yeah. Washington set the precedent, it should be 2 terms and that's it. And then it became canon. But for, before that, it was just, kind of a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm emotional about our government and the beauty with which it is set up.
That's amazing, and it's really great for us to be there. When I get inside like a room like that, I just think you can almost feel the history, you can feel the importance of it. That was cool. I'm glad we went, and it was really worthwhile.
Absolutely.
I think anyone coming to Philly needs to go and check that out.
It's only $1 for the tour. Spend
Exactly.
$1.
$1. That's incredible. And the guy was really good as well.
Yeah. He was a good order.
Yeah. All right, let's go and see the Liberty Bell. And then I think we need to get something to eat.
Absolutely.
Now there's the Liberty Bell, which they told us was up on top of the bell tower during that time. All right, we're walking along the streets here.
So the statue's behind us up in the sky there. That's William Penn. That was the tallest building in the city of Philadelphia for a long time. And they actually did not want any buildings taller than the William Penn statue. And then they eventually did, and it became a bad luck kind of symbol. So I believe it's the Comcast building. It's currently the tallest building. They have a little tiny statue of William Penn that they put on the top of the Comcast building. So he is still at the top of Philadelphia. Exactly.
Wow, that's fascinating. Maybe he's put that kind of like, not curse, but he's put that kind of hoodoo on the sea.
It's a little
like,
superstition.
I will be on the top.
Absolutely.
That's interesting. We'll see a photo of it when we get a bit closer, but it's right up there somewhere.
Yep.
We're outside a building right now, which is quite important. Rocky, where are we?
We are at City Hall. We're about to go to the Christmas market.
Is this where the mayor sits? Basically, the mayor of the city.
Sure. Let's say I know that.
Okay, cool. There's a Christmas market in here, and it's just a pretty building. I actually think it looks kind of like Glasgow here. And fun fact for you, they shot a film in Glasgow called World War Z, starring Brad Pitt, I think, about zombies. 13. And they brought over a whole lot of American fire trucks and other like signposts and stuff in Glasgow. And it was supposed to be Philadelphia. Filmed in Glasgow.
Oh, we should. now that I say that, we should.
He's probably going. That'd be funny with the kilts.
I don't know.
Oh, that's cold in the butt. Oh my god. Closest thing we have to a unicorn at this point.
I should ask.
Put your finger up on top of his head. There you go. Yeah! Yeah, mule! Yeah!
That it?
That's it. That was it. Done. I feel so masculine right now.
Feel masculine.
Take on the world.
Are you dizzy?
My butt's cold.
Your butt?
Alright, so we've walked down to the waterfront, basically. The river. There's a river behind us. It's either the Schuylkill or the Delaware River. And the other side is New Jersey, the state, I think. You could pretty much. You can see it. I can see New Jersey from here. But there's two big monuments here. Rocky brought me down here to say.
Yep.
To show me.
Yep, this is the Irish monument down in Philadelphia to the Irish immigrants who came here during the potato famine. And then just over behind us there, or over in front of us over there, is the Scottish immigrant monument.
That's fascinating. Like I would never imagine to like come to another country and seeing a monument to Scottish people. I mean, that's amazing. And that really goes back to like the things I've been saying on this channel for a while now is the connections between Scotland and America are really deep. It's not just paper thin, it's not on the surface. It's really, really deep and it's long standing. I mean, I think one of the reasons why it's just been really cool to come out here and do these videos with you, because we get to learn more about these things by having these discussions. So yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's really intricate and thought out. You can see that's looks like a ship or something.
Yeah. Ship over there, you got the graveyards, you got the people leaving and boarding onto the ship, and the people coming off over here.
Amazing.
It's full 360 too, if you want to walk.
Wow, gonna have a little look around. You put the Irish one up first, and then the Scottish people got jealous, like we need one as well.
Exactly. Some standing stones in there. And
yeah. And is that the Scottish one through there?
Yeah.
Let's go and see it. Standing stone thing.
I think if you touch this side, you turn into a U.S. Marine. This is the memorial for the Tun Tavern.
Oh yeah, right. I've read about that. That's the
or the plaque for it. Say.
So they reckon it was roughly in this spot where there would have been a pub or a tavern.
Correct.
Where basically the U.S. Marines launched. Is that the story?
Yep, it's the Tun Tavern. That is where the Marine Corps in the U.S. is very, very proud of the fact that they were founded in a bar. So this is the Tun Tavern, would have been in this area in Philadelphia. This is where they met and founded the Marine Corps.
I mean, I think all good ideas start in the pub, right?
That's a very fair point. And
then you literally, 5 meters away, maybe less, we have the Scottish Memorial. And you can see the kilts up there. Looks like a family of 3. Or 4 maybe.
4, yeah, baby.
And then you've got, it looks like an Irish wolfhound.
Yep.
You've actually been here a few times to like do some speeches and stuff as well, right?
Given some speeches for the Philadelphia St. Andrews Society a few times. So yeah, I've been down here a few times.
Cool. That's
Beautiful
awesome.
place. Difficult to hear because it's right on top of Route 95, but awesome place.
All right, so it's actually coming underneath us, right?
Yep.
Oh.
If this falls, we are dead.
Rocky, thank you very much for taking us around all the spots in Philadelphia. I feel like we've kind of learned quite a lot about the city.
Yeah.
It's a great place. And I think, for me, it shows that anyone who's come to the city, whether you're American, Scottish, Irish, or whoever, you need to learn about the founding of America. Go to the Independence Hall because it is interesting.
Yes, absolutely. It's the place of America's birth. Every American should go there, period. And anyone who wants to come to America, just to experience this great country, should go there as well.
Yeah. Probably half a dozen really important historical sites around the city as well, and they're all worth checking out. But, you can only do so much in a day, especially when it's winter time and it gets dark early. We are going to go and get ice cream now. But
as you do in the freezing cold, yeah.
Absolutely. But Rocky, thank you very much for taking us around.
Not a problem.
We are going to go to a game tonight. We're going to the ice hockey. That'll be good fun, but that'll be for another video. That'll be for the next episode. So thank you everyone for watching, and make sure you go and check out USA Kilts. They have awesome content. Not even mentioning the fact you've got great products. You've got an awesome content, which is just good fun on its own right. So all the links will be down below. And if you're interested in the American Dream tartan as well, the kilts, there will be a link.
Excellent.
So, yeah, let's go and get some ice cream.
Sounds good. See you guys.
I hope you've enjoyed these videos from America, and a huge thanks to Rocky for showing me around. If you'd like to learn more about connecting with your Scottish heritage, and maybe even buy your own kilt, go to www.usakilts.com or check the links in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.